Hello beautiful people, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan astrology report. So first off, I want to apologise if you can hear any background noise, because at the moment I've had a really interesting couple of weeks and there are roofers now directly above me, so if you do hear noise, I apologise. It's not a right lot that I can do about it, but yeah, so we are. And just to say with that as well, it's really cool as like a reflection. You know, I always feel like whatever we see within reality and whatever's happening around us in reality is also happening within us. So like there's something structurally going on within me right now. And I would say, you know, it's my higher self aspect because it's the top of the house that I live in. And yeah, like if you ever see like things going on the roads, I always feel like if that appears in your own reality, it's a marker of the past being transformed. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is a Galactic Mayan astrology report for Friday the 5th of February 2021, and the new 13-day process that we are moving into is within the energy of Red Skywalker. So Red Skywalker is a red sign, and the red signs are about the awakening of capacities within us. They're about an opening, an activation. It's like the poof, right, we're in. And then the other signs that follow kind of build upon that process in some ways. It like flowers out from there. But the first, the red signs are really like an initiation. Now the energy of Skywalker is essentially about being able to bridge the heavens and the earths. So the earths, apparently there are many earths, but the heaven and the earth within our particular reality. So within the Mayan signs, each of the Mayan signs has got a picture and the glyph, so they call it. It's like a little symbol that represents the sign. And the glyph symbol for the Skywalker that's always highlighted is that basically there's like, it's a square with some pillars at the top and some pillars at the bottom. And the essential thing is the human being to bridge the heaven and the earth. So us as creator consciousness embodied, we are the ones that are creating the reality. And this is why television and things like that are so powerful for conditioning, and reality manipulation, because what we see as truth and interpret as truth, we then create as truth within our lives, which is why it's like fundamentally important for us to be dismantling the influences upon our consciousness and just being very aware that this mystical information about reality might not be common knowledge within certain layers of society, but most probably is common knowledge in different aspects of society. So as the Skywalker energy, that we all are, because we are all of the archetypes, we are here to be the bridge of the heavens and the earth, which means that we are here to bring the heaven to the earth, because we are the creators. So when we're journeying with the Skywalker, it's really this, on an individual level, this process of discovering what it is that is our heaven and earth. What does your heaven and earth look like? And we've kind of transitioned especially now that we're within all of this Aquarius energy, we're really in this like collective dream space. We're always in a collective dream space, but I mean on the things that make our souls sing and our hearts sing, it's like, okay, so what is our individual flavour of the collective heaven on earth? And we are moving toward creating harmony, and it's so important that we have our conscious sovereignty to be able to align with that, and therefore to create it, because it's like we're like magnets. So whatever we are, so we've got our conscious selves and then our subconscious selves, and the whole of us is a magnet. So whatever we are feeling that we want to draw into our lives, consciously and subconsciously, whether that's a subconscious want or not, we are magnetizing it into reality. We're aligning with that particular reality, because as quantum physics has revealed, there are an infinite amount of potential realities. So our process here is to dismantle the unconscious manifestation, to make the unconscious conscious, so that we then get to be consciously, on purpose essentially, aligning with the reality that we want, which again is why it's really important to limit the amount of input from external sources that perhaps don't have the liberation of humankind in their intentions when they are creating. So again, as I say, this thing of our own heaven on earth. So our own heaven on earth, you know, essentially we can go into the dualistic perspective, which is what I've just been in, you know, around like, oh, it's them and it's us and it's all, but it's not really, you know, it's all of us. And the reality is that, you know, we're all of it, you know, we're all the oppressors and the oppressed and all of that, you know, we embody every aspect of it. But really, you know, we are also the key to our own liberation. Nobody is ever able to make something happen to us that we have not agreed to, whether that's conscious or subconscious. So regardless of the intentions of the other, it has to be a match for us in order to come into our reality. So that being said, when it comes then to our creation, our personal alignment with the heaven on earth that most feels aligned to us, it's only us that's in the way of it, you know? So really within this wave spell, within this 13-day process, we get to see what's in the way of our heaven on earth, you know, what is in the way of us aligning with the ultimate manifestation that feels to be aligned for us, you know. So it's a really good time to feel into, you know, especially right now, you know, it feels like, oh, there's nothing that we can do, we're all really stuck and da 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 da. And then we go into the like stuck in the fear thing and like, oh my god, I'm living in hell, I'm living in a prison, blah 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 blah. So let's reframe that. Okay, so on some subconscious level we decided that this is what we wanted, perhaps because we've got some really weird beliefs going on, perhaps because we don't feel liberated, full stop. So now what do we do? So to take some time to feel into, okay, so what does my heaven on earth look like? What does it feel like for me to, you know, what are the building blocks of the reality that I would like to live in? What is the world that I would like to leave for my grandchildren? You know, what is that? What does that look like? And then once we've kind of felt into that, then it's like, okay, so how do I align with that? How do I live that now? What do I need to do in order to get online with that? Because it's there. So then that's then the beautiful process of what's in the way. So with that glyph that I mentioned, the human being is in the middle of the heavens and the earth. The human being is the creator consciousness embodied that is doing everything within the reality, yeah? And we are a collective human being, essentially. But also within that, you know, within that like space between the heavens and the earth, there's also all of our subconscious blocks. There's also, when I say subconscious blocks, basically we've all generally been raised in environments where the awareness of us being creator consciousness has not been woven into our child rearing. You know, we've not been raised to be like, did you know that you're God? That's not really come into it, has it? So essentially the ways in which we've been raised has been a very distorted perspective of reality and distorted perspective of who we are and what our potential is. So it's our task individually to rewrite that. So within this 13-day process, we're really invited to vision, get clear about the vision, but then also open to receive and let go of what's in the way. And it's a bit of a chicken or the egg thing, you know. The more space that we make within our consciousness, the more able we are then to channel. And, you know, this idea of the heavens, for me, is like, you know, we are within a multi-dimensional reality, and it's essentially the higher dimensions that are not in form and not necessarily accessible and perceivable all of the time, but are very much there to support us. It's the realm of our guides, it's the realm of our ancestors, it's the realm of, you know, the highest potential of the earth reality. So when we are feeling in, you know, when we're allowing ourselves to channel, we receive the vision and then the vision comes through us. So our potential, especially within Red Skywalker, is to be, you know, feeling into where are we channeling from? Are we channeling from our subconscious? Are we channeling from the conditioning of our families? Are we channeling from limitation and pain and the pain body? Or are we channeling from, you know, the higher dimensional reality? And that's not to say that we need to be out of our bodies, we have to be in our bodies. And it's also not to say that the both aren't happening simultaneously, because they are. But when we feel that we are hooked into an old story, it's our responsibility to explore and dismantle that old story, as opposed to bypassing it and being like, nope, I just want to go up here. No, no, no. Because when you're doing that, you're still manifesting from this subconscious place. You're still manifesting from the wound, you know, of humanity and the unconsciousness of humanity, unless you're actively going down into there and dismantling it. You know, so that whole, like, because it's well comfy to be like up in the realms, you know, I love talking to the extraterrestrials, I love connecting with the angels, like, yeah, that's totally where I want to be, like, let me just sit and meditate and receive all these visions, and yeah, it's amazing. But the reality is that that's not kind of why we're here. We came from there. We came here to sort this bit out, and that is what is going on at the moment on the planet. You know, that whole thing that we have been running subconsciously has now gone BAM! External reality all aligned with that. You know, it was kind of like, from my perspective, it feels like it's just gone, like the underworld's just gone on top of the world, you know, and now we're operating with that. So how do we break that down? How do we break, what's our individual process for breaking that down and essentially realigning? So as I say, it's a really wonderful time to be tuning in and receiving the visions and doing all of that stuff that feels amazing and is really easy in some ways, but then also, as always, to be then working on, so how do we root it? How do we root this vision? What do we need to do? And it's not about electing a certain person or overthrowing a certain person. It's so much more mystical than that. You know, it's like this, it's a synchronistic experience that we are aligning to, that we all know. You walk around the corner and you bump into that person and it's like, whoa, you know, that is not, it's not our control. You know, our alignment is about the release of what is underneath in a belief system that prevents us from getting there. I can't do that because there's a belief. That's not truth, that's a belief. It might be operating as truth, but it's just a belief and it's in the way. Boof. Get rid of that. And you know, how do you do that? How do you do that? For me, the biggest and bestest thing that I've found to dismantle the belief system is emotional freedom technique, because it's working particularly with the belief system, but there are many other ways as well. So explore where you want to go, what it looks like. I can, I shouldn't, I won't, I'm unable to. Get all of that out, feel it, because that's the mapping of the subconscious. Perhaps even explore where it's come from. Oh, that sounds like something my mum used to say. Oh, that sounds like something my grandma used to say. Oh, wicked, so it's an inherited one, as most of them are. And then clear it, because within that belief, within that particular thing of I can't do that, are loads of memories that the subconscious uses to back up what it believes. And because we're magnets, we're going to have loads of experiences to back up the beliefs that we've got, because that's the way that it works. So within this 13-day process, when we're journeying with the Skywalker, it's really about finding your heaven on earth, finding what's in the way and dismantling so that you can bring in, you know, and so that we can be the bridges that we are here to be. So DISDANCING is going to be back as of next week, which feels very, very exciting. It all had to stop when all the roof stuff happened, because like part of the roof was coming in and whoa, it's been intense. But yeah, all is well now. And yeah, so from next Monday, The online donation-based ecstatic dance will be happening every evening in UK time between 8 and 10 p.m. You're welcome to join from anywhere in the world because it's through Zoom, and yeah, it's just a beautiful community of people, and to be dancing and connecting with one another every day is just so key for this time because we've got to keep our vibes up. So yeah, sending you so much love, and have a wonderful wave spell.